everyone. Let me share to you, especially my fellow Filipinos who are aspiring to apply for a US tourist visa. I will be talking about the processes, the steps, and documents that I procured to give you some tips on what you can possibly do on your own. And before that, I'll just give you a disclaimer. Following what I did is not a guarantee that your visa application will be approved, since it will be up to the consular officers to decide based on facts and during your interview should you be granted a visa or not. Another thing, I was a call center employee at the time of my application, hence the tie that I proved was all related to my work. Don't be honest as much as possible. Instead, be honest at all times. And finally, don't forget to click on subscribe as well as the bell button beside it so you could get notifications about my future videos, especially on how I applied for an Australian, South Korean, and Japan visa that was also approved, even if it was my first ever application. So, let's get started. If you're applying for your US tourist visa here in the Philippines, there are two channels where you can pay: through BPI Online or over the counter, and through BankNet Online. Take note of your MRP fee receipt number. You will need this in scheduling your appointment. Complete the Non-Immigrant Visa Electronic Application DS-160 form. Take note of your application ID. This is very important to retrieve your application should you wish to continue filling it out at another time. And here are some tips before starting your application. Be sure you have a digital copy of your photo which is taken within the last 6 months. Just go to a photo shop and tell them it's for a US visa and that you also need a digital copy. Be ready with the addresses and the contact information, including email of your friends and relatives who are living in the United States. Be ready with your previous international travel, such as the date you went out and returned to the Philippines. By the way, there is a confusing question in the form, and it is, have you been 10 printed? It is simply asking if you have provided fingerprints for all of your fingers as opposed to having provided only 2, which is usually your thumbprints. If you cannot remember having been 10 printed, the safest answer to the question would be no. The embassy will just take your 10 fingerprints during your interview. If you don't have a profile yet, just click on New User. Fill up all the fields with the required information. And click on Submit. And we are now here in the most interesting part of the process, the interview. And here are a few reminders. Bring a printed copy of your appointment letter, your DS-160 confirmation page, one recent photograph, your current passport, and all old passports, as well as all the documents which you think may support your visa application. And for me, these are the documents that I prepared. On the day of your interview, if you live outside of Luzon, you can just fly in and fly out of Manila. Just be sure that you are there in the vicinity of the embassy at least 15 minutes before your scheduled interview. What I wore was actually a business attire. I was wearing a white long sleeves and a necktie. I was supposed to also wear my coat, but I left it in the car. Right, so if you're wondering what were the questions during my interview, here they are. I just want to travel the world while I'm young and capable, and also visit my relatives. Yes, and I'm actually going back to Japan this December to visit my mom who lives there. I have been working with for about 12 years and 4 months. I'm handling 18 agents. Is that it? Can I go now? Thank you. Alright, that's it. As far as I can remember, those were the only questions that were asked from me, and that's almost exactly my reaction when the consular officer withheld my passport. If you do have any questions, please post them down below. I'll try to respond to it as accurate as possible. And if you have any comments, please also write them down. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.